Hello to both of you. Governor, I'm going to start with you. You were a prominent Trump surrogate from the early days of his presidential campaign. Were you ashamed of the president today?
No, absolutely not. I was not ashamed. I think that he took the bull by the horns. He spoke from his heart. And, you know, this relentless reporting and this relentless attacking of him is not serving our country um, or the issues that we talk about well. And it's getting a little overburdensome. I'm feeling that the people of America, the people of the United States particularly, have about had it.
Governor, with all due respect, the words came out of his mouth today. He said it. The words came out of his mouth on Saturday. He said it. So what are we supposed to ignore it? And how is it the news' fault?
He said that this hatred and this bigotry
He equated a racist Nazi group to protesters, people who were protesting fascism. That's what he did. He appears to be ignorant of the history of this country. Those are the facts.
Just saying that doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it the facts because we know.
What isn't true about it? Tell me what's not true of it. Tell me how, Governor. Tell me how the protesters and the anti-protesters. How are they equivalent?
He has denounced the Ku Klux Klan and the neo-Nazis. He has done it over and over, and David Duke. And you people just keep on reporting that he hasn't done it. I mean, it's unbelievable.
No one has reported that he hasn't done it. That is not true, Governor. He did it. He denounced him, but each time he denounces him, he does it under duress, and it takes him days later to do it. So no one is not. We're not reporting that he hasn't denounced. That is true. That is true. Are you not watching or reading?
I am watching. I'm watching a lot, but today I've been quite busy. But it's from morning to night. We keep hearing all these mistruths about what's going on, and people reading things into a situation that are absolutely not happening. And so you're forming all this stuff in people's minds without them being allowed to make their own decision. I thought his speech on Saturday was fine. I thought the one on Monday was terrific. I thought today he came forward and spoke from his heart. He doesn't want this. We need to bring our country together. You know, Don, I am old. I'm 72 years old. I've lived through a lot of this. And I denounce the Ku Klux Klan. I think they're terrible. I think what happened in Charlottesville was horrible. But the fact of the matter is that there were groups there to the far left and to the far right. Call them what you want. Call them the Ku Klux Klan. I'm sure they were. They had their torches. And then to the left, you had Antifa. And they were there with clubs, too. I have listened to this now tonight, waiting to come on. No one ever talks about the left. I mean, it was a bad situation. It's not America. And we have got to come together. And we've got to stop all this.
All right, Governor, just for the sake of time, I want Anna to get in here. But there's a lot to unpack there, and there's a couple of facts that you got wrong about it. But Anna, I'll let you in on this. What do you say to the governor, and what's your response?
Honestly, I don't have anything to say to her. Look, I think that Trump apologists are going to justify and pretend that things he says and that they are seeing him say did not happen. And so I frankly think that it's a waste of time and useless exercise to try to convince them and otherwise. So let me, instead of talking about that, let me talk to Donald Trump and explain to him that as President of the United States, he represents blacks and Jewish people and Hispanics and people of every color and every creed. And it is his job as President of the United States to stand up for each and every American, to stand up vertically against racism and bigotry. Peddling to racism is just as bad as being a racist. So Donald Trump is either a racist or he's peddling to it, and both are frankly unacceptable and make him unfit to be President of the United States. If you can't be president, if you cannot stand up and represent Americans, you should not be president. And to my party, to the Republicans who are speaking out today, my question is, what the hell took you so long? When someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. For too long, Republicans in Congress, elected leaders, have looked the other way while a misogynist, racist, bigoted pig is in the White House. Let me tell you, we cannot capitulate the office of the presidency of the United States. We cannot capitulate moral clarity. We cannot capitulate principles. We cannot capitulate Republican values and American values. No piece of legislation, no bone that he may throw on policy, no regulation is worth cheapening the office of the United States this way. It is breaking us apart. It is not news that's breaking us apart. It is the President of the United States who is causing this news. So Republicans need to stand up, need to grow a spine, and need to reject him. I'm tired of hearing Republicans say they're disappointed and disturbed by something he says. You know what? When he invites you to the White House, don't go. When he invites you to dinner, don't go. Do not stand next to him until he starts behaving in a presidential manner. And if he can't, you've got to confront him over and over and over and over again.
And Governor, here's what folks are saying. Those comments today that were at Trump Tower.